Dennis Miracle ABOAGYE Kasama MPP, Member of Parliament for Tamale Central, or Munyanfo Inusa Fuseni, Aqua Clash, Nanya Sam Ketwa, Aqua Bom, a Jadam, Ninia, yes, sir, in Sugiri system here, a course so at Greater Accra. I know Munyanfo Inusa Fuseni Bakase. We shouldn't blame the government. No, and I'm like ABOAGYE tea and the Tqua pie. To be the ama, when Munyanfo Inusa Fuseni, Nya Sam Ketwa. Now me can say hi, do 360 also travel about more than subscribe. Like na feel finally leave comment our comment section. One na bomb their fans like 8 notification. So send a message be tomorrow. You be the first person to have a gist of it. Exactly me fans around 8:45 and on Munyanfo Miracle ABOAGYE, one of the spokesperson demand new patriotic party. And then on Munyanfo Inusa Fuseni echo clash war joy news. Na no and on Munyanfo Inusa Fuseni because the NDC government, you know, abra flood ni AC, you know, and then so you didn't see our Greater Accra, no. Abana enough from the into a more blame government, you know. Bra so you didn't started government, you know, at me initiative ska almost about $350 million. At the two almost say Obi Biara or yeah affected our flat, you know. A portion says ka we enfama and no try to so abane so ati anti-flood committee also okase ya you know omugusu a omo wo on board omo hwe say enwuma nyina betuto ye na emma de scene e bin sibiem enti emma blame government eno na Miracle ABOAGYE tea and etikokutukum o se hwe ehene a wo se me blame government somewhere around 2015 something like John Dramani Mahama and etia kunya so. June
3rd, 2015. For many Ghanaians, those 3 words are enough. Enough to remember the rain, enough to remember the floodwaters, enough to remember the flames that turned a place of shelter into a place of tragedy. That night, hundreds of people ran from the flood only to be met by a devastating explosion at a Goyle filling station at the Kwame Nkrumah interchange, Circle. Families were torn apart. Dreams ended. More than 100 lives were lost in a matter of moments. Yesterday's rains brought back uncomfortable memories. The flooded roads, the stranded vehicles, the fear. And so we ask ourselves, what did we learn? Did we improve our drainage systems? Did we stop building in waterways? Did we strengthen emergency response? Did we honor the dead by ensuring such a disaster would never happen again? The June 3rd victims deserve more than remembrance. They deserve evidence that their deaths changed something. 10 years later, Ghana must answer a difficult question. Are we safer today than we were on that night?
The same Toronto way AC, not only the sitting president. Was also a baby. Sitting president na sadi we see you get now some here fast blame we from mano na no na Dennis Miracle ABOAGYE to be diama Inusa Fuseni say time MPP be free aban so na do da kwakufuado aden hye to ho or establish an institution which was funded by that IMF I found Gallic purposely say flood so yire you know you establish an institutions I bet my boasani bear, sadden bear a thing of the past. Mobile Sika, Bank of Ghana, Edmayan, through IMF, Edmayan, Mako bomb $13.8 million. Eddie Aqua, dear Mope. Or no baby, a miracle, Sabwajano Oteno. I buy a day, share Kupunoso, so we see that. But on all can say, in Swafano, it took Casamia more abano, etchi, Sasadu Atuya, Mobile the year 2024. Mobile and I'm about to anti-flood committee. I'm a far a helicopter at the 90 and not chairman of it as Ndogwe. And that anti-flood we say by ye. A Jumon Koyeno, a whole resource for him. There's no any perfect resource. A few at the Abba. Sir, the way Sansu baby in the year 2026. His Excellency John Dramani Mahama Sansu for helicopter at the Nangrium. Na obisa say omo take helicopter ni mankasa no one dey expect onim se flag way ahanda fly into this is the solution I was say edema Dennis Mrakaboagye betu to be e dey am NDC administration say makoy mo takra ogem ana mo da Ghana for.
If all of us were pastors and popes and saints, we will not elect leaders. We elect leaders because we know that the society that we run, all of us are not at the same wavelength, and so people would misbehave. And so we've been given a mandate to ensure that the majority of us who are respecting the laws and the rules do not suffer from the actions of the few who are doing all this indisciplined stuff. So the president and the government has failed us. That is the summary of it. And this is not politics. This is accountability. Yesterday, the government that was in place had to take responsibility. And I take inspiration from our president. He was clear. He said that the flood and rains in Accra was as a result of Akufo-Addo's failure. I believe him. I agree with him. And that is why a lot of people who probably suffered floods in 2021, 2022, 2023 went and probably voted against the MPP because they heard a presidential candidate who said he had a solution. So there is no question. Nobody in this country is responsible for the flooding other than the government. Nobody. No. Nobody else other than the government.
You are not going to intervene.
Nobody else. It is the government's responsibility. And let me tell you, I'll outline how I feel and I think this government has failed. You see, you come to office. One of the biggest red flag, or everybody knows in the capital, is flood. Every government is aware of that. And that is why immediately you came to office, you formed an anti-flood task force. Why did you form that anti-flood task force? If you didn't have the responsibility to deal with flood, why would you go ahead to form a task force? It means that you acknowledge that it is your responsibility. If not, why did you set up a task force? Now this task force immediately put bloggers in a vehicle and asked them to go and wait for them whilst they fly in a chopper, landed the chopper, and briefed the bloggers what they have seen and said big things about how they've been given the mandate, marching orders by the president to ensure that this time we do not see flooding and that they are going to do all they have to do, led by no mean a person than the Deputy Chief of Staff of the Republic of Ghana in charge of operations. It meant that he can command any state resource available to ensure that there is no flooding in the city. Nobody else is responsible for what happened on Monday. It is the government. And I'll tell you more. The anti-floods responsibility, task force responsibility, is to ensure that what happened on Monday did not happen. Not only that, remember that 3 weeks before Monday, another one had happened. That people had died. So first of all, that anti-flood task force failed. Because your job is to your job is to prevent. You would have succeeded if there was no flooding. As long as we have seen flood in such a devastating nature, you failed. Take responsibility. Don't make excuses. It is disrespectful. It is insulting. It is heartbreaking. When you were given a responsibility to answer something and the thing has happened and you want to shift blame. Number two, The government has managed the crisis and the disaster in the most shambolic manner than we have ever seen. And I'll explain to you, Samson. You see, the flood happened. Remember, there was a flood about 2 or 3 weeks before the Monday one. The one that some building collapsed in Adenta and some people died. That was the first warning. Remember, people died with that one. What did the government do? There was a building that collapsed right here around Caprice. What did the government do? What was the government's response to all of these things? There are 3 or 4 levels of people who are affected by this. And I'll explain to you. The government quickly comes in the middle of the disaster and says that, oh, we are in a chopper, we are looking at how bad the situation is. The next morning, they said we have allocated 350 million for flood relief and flood mitigation. And this is where they are missing the point. Today is Saturday, 5 clear days since the flood happened. I haven't been able to enter my home. My house is empty. Nobody has called me. Nobody has come to me. Nobody has asked me where I sleep, what I eat, what my family is eating, where they sleep. I am just one citizen. Forget about me, because I am in the category of people who can find their way around. So put us in a different bracket. Now, for those who cannot find their way around, those who live along the Odo River, those who live at Tiptoe Lane, those who live at Circle, that cannot find places to sleep since Monday, have you heard the government open up the sports stadium, set up a dome, giving them blankets and mattresses, and tell them that come and sleep here whilst we find ways and means to release the 350 million. So again, even in the process of the disaster, the management has been very poor. People have not been prioritized. People have not been prioritized, because what a government that cares about its people does is that immediately the floods happened, I should know that for those of you who have been affected by the rain on Monday night, where are you sleeping? What are you eating? What are you wearing? Not a single one has been done. Not even one. Then I ask myself, 6 days after the flood, I have heard in the news that there's a 350 million allocation for flood relief for those who have been affected. I know not where I'm supposed to go and write my name. I know not where I'm supposed to follow up on this 350 million. It's been 6 days. I will die before the processes or whatever you are going to do happen. And that is just me. As of last night, human bodies were still being dragged from the Odo River. We do not even know the actual count of people who have died. The number of young people who sleep on the streets that have been washed away by this rain are not counted, because nobody is even looking for them. Nobody knows them. Nobody is asking of them. Because for these people, it is only when they wake up in the morning that they see their bodies and talk.
And you see, that's because about a week before this flood, or less than a week before this flood, 18 people died in the central region because of flood. Yes. And we were all quiet, as if it must happen in Accra before we start talking. Those people in the central region, they don't matter.
Nobody's counting them. So, see, the number of vehicles that are still stuck in the Odo River that are being dragged have not been counted yet. The losses are bigger than we are discussing.
Look at them. All those who are using these vehicles, that's homes, livelihoods that are gone.
Where have they been sleeping since Monday? What have they been eating? I have friends. I have family that I could put up with me and my family. I don't matter. I am just one category. The other category of people. Now, when you say you release 350 million, I ask myself, and I was asking some friends, okay, where do I find myself in the 350 million? Because I don't need rice. I don't need oil. I don't need blankets. I don't need mattress. So when you create an impression as if you are being there for me as a citizen.
Some of the local leaders are distributing bulbs, yes. Light bulbs.
Yes, where am I supposed to put the light bulb? Where am I supposed
victims
to put the
of a
light bulb?
flood?
You understand what I'm saying? So that is how bad the situation is. And then before I even move to the final end of my conversation, even the response. See, NADMU, and I shout out to the Tema West NADMU. They showed up in a borrowed pickup from the district assembly, and they came with nothing except their reflective jackets. Nothing except their reflective jackets. It took, and I'll blow your mind, it took some young people from Nungwa to come with canoe, and that tells you how serious. My neighborhood, people were evacuated from their homes with canoe. It tells you how, and I'm talking about canoe on a road like you are seeing in front of your office. So it tells you how devastating the situation is. When they came, Nadmo was helpless. They have nothing. So the young people were the ones who dedicated themselves, put the canoe on the water, and started looking for people and bringing people out. The disaster management itself is poor. There are no tools, there are no equipment, nothing. Where are the choppers for the security services to throw the ropes onto the surfaces of the river so that people will hold and then they drag them out of the other river? Where is it? How difficult is it to do this? And you are telling me that it's not the government's fault. Whose fault is it? My house is located in one of the most planned areas in Ghana. I live in one of the most planned neighborhoods in Ghana. Why am I flooding? Me. Some say, look at me. Tell me who I should blame for my flood. I don't dump in refuse into any waste bin, any drain. I haven't built in waterway. I live in an area that is planned by the government itself. So why am I flooding? And you are telling me that I should take responsibility for my flood and not the government. Then I come back to the substantive matter. In 2015, we experienced one of the most devastating floods in this country. Never seen before in terms of the human lives lost. The closest one probably was the 1995 one. Then the government decided to do some diagnostic study. The same president decided to do some diagnostic study. That diagnostic study is what led to 2017. The MPP came to office and then all the work was done and then led to the establishment of Garrett. The whole of the year 2025, not a single pesewa was released for Garrett projects to continue.
It's not true.
Oh,
it's not true. It's not true. You allow me to read it for you.
Please.
It's not true.
I'm not. Please, I beg you.
I have the figures.
It's not true.
Every spend on Garrett.
I beg you.
Wait. It's a lie.
You see,
it's a blatant lie. I will read it.
The World Bank is the one lying.
Not the World Bank.
The World Bank's report. And if you interrupt me, you are being.
The World Bank don't release the money to Ghana.
Leave this to me. Don't do that.
No, wait. Okay, I'll wait.
The government did not release the Garrett funding. It's in the World Bank report.
No.
In fact, let me even tell you something else. This government actually swept over 13.8 million of Garrett money from the Garrett account to do other things. It's in the World Bank report. That is why the World Bank,
where's the World Bank
report? Assessment.
Where's the World Bank report?
What are you doing?
No, please, you can't come here and peddle falsehood and let me, and I expect me to sit down and look at
Council,
you. What is the report? Can you produce the report here?
Can you take charge?
I challenge you to produce the report here.
Council, can you take charge?
No, it's what to do.
Can I continue?
Okay, so you go ahead.
Okay. So this report is public.
Yes.
It's public. That's why I'm surprised he shouted.
Go ahead.
It's public. And I'm not the only one talking about it. All the news portals, including
where's the report?
Have already published the story.
Where's the story?
You see, I beg,
let's Google it.
You are being
go ahead.
You are being very disruptive.
Go ahead.
Respectfully.
Go ahead.
Respectfully. The truth of the matter is that according to the World Bank, 2025, there was no spending on the Garrett project. In fact, that is why they have rated the performance of Garrett as moderately unsatisfactory. The World Bank report also indicated that the government swept 13.8 million from the Garrett account to go and do other things. They have just restored that money in April 2026. It's in the report. Now, go to the Paloma area. The Garrett guy is here. Go to the Paloma area. That project, the contractor hasn't been on site for the whole year. In fact, the last release for Garrett was in November 2024. It is in the report. It is in the World Bank report. November 2024 was the last time this country released funds to Garrett. Now, that aside, Council, I'll give you a letter. I'll give you a letter for you to read. You see,
okay.
Every year, as part of Garrett's project, it's some releases they do to the MMEs, the municipalities and metros, to undertake what they call dredging and desilting. Typically, what the MMAs do is that they will submit a work plan of areas that they want to desilt. Then Garrett and the government will approve. Then they will release funds to them to undertake this desilting. This desilting usually would happen between January and March before the rains set in. And normally, these MMAs in Accra, they do it synchronized. Because you see, if Dade Kotopon is dredging, and Clote Kole is not dredging, it means that the whatever is here will run. So they do it synchronized. Let me blow your mind. And I'll blow your mind by reading this particular letter to you. Please indulge me. This letter is from the government, written on 15th May 2026, from the local government ministry. Council, please listen. Greater Accra Resilient and Integrated Development Project Disbursement of the 2026 Local Capacity Support Grant and notification of the 2024 Operation and Maintenance. It's a long letter, but I'll try and read for the purposes of this conversation. Then I'll make a point. As part, it says, we refer to the implementation of GARED extended that the ministry wishes to inform all beneficiaries that it has commenced the processes for the disbursement of the 2026 Local Capacity Support Grant in line with the prescribed procedure for grant disbursement.
I can't say I probably 360 sound subscriber, but when I subscribe, like it, not feel free to leave a comment. Our comment section. Don't forget, so don't hit the notification. Send a message via Toma. You'll be the first person to have a gist of its background.